Okay, so hello everyone. Today we have Mr. Gopal Raghavan with us, who's the head instructor at Instakrav Maga. So we are going to talk about the importance of self-defense and why one should excel in this art. But before starting, let's know more about Instakrav Maga. So Gopal sir, will you just enlighten us more about this organization?
Okay, so Insta Krav Maga basically is an organization which promotes and teaches Krav Maga. Now, why I kept Insta Krav Maga is Krav Maga instantaneously or instantly. If you want to learn a self defense, Krav Maga is there for you. So that was the thought behind keeping that name. Although it started, looking little similar to Instagram rather. Anyway, so that's what it started. So is Krav Maga is an Israeli self defense and combat system. This was developed in Israel in 1940s to defend themselves against various attacks which happened in Israel. So that's how it started. Earlier they were teaching the military, and then later they started to teach civilians. So I started learning Krav Maga, and I found it very interesting in the sense the approach was quite opposite to the traditional way how we think about self-defense. Earlier, whenever I used to think about self-defense, I used to imagine Jackie Chan or somebody else flying, kicking, jumping from one place to another place. Then I realized when I started learning Krav Maga, then I realized the true meaning of self-defense. Self-defense is not just you kick, punch, and you run. You jump around from one place to another. Self-defense is as simple as being aware about your situation. Where are you? What are you doing? What is the situation outside? That it's as simple as that. Weapon cannot be your punches and kicks. Weapon can even be a keychain, an umbrella, a water bottle, a newspaper. You can turn all these things into weapon. So Krav Maga is a true self-defense format. It's say the major principle of Krav Maga is before you put your body to defend yourself, if you see anything else which you can use it, use that. Okay, so what is called as foul in other martial arts or other this thing is actually the valid reason for Krav Maga. In the sense, don't hit somebody's knee is a rule in several martial arts. But in Krav Maga, that is taught to us. Don't hit groin, but we are taught to hit groin because the idea in self defense is that it's not one-on-one competition. It is one against many. So that's why I found Krav Maga to be very attractive. Yeah.
Okay, so sir, why do you think it's important for today's youth to learn this form of art? I mean, definitely we
Oh.
can see in this lockdown the crime rate against women has been increasing. I mean, there has been a steep rise, right? But not only for women, irrespective of the gender, why do you think it's important for
For
today's
everybody.
youth to learn? Yeah, this art.
Okay, so I'll put it in a different way. See, I've been learning and teaching Krav Maga for quite some while. So this is a trend I have found in people. See, when I learn music, when I learn dancing, I can perform. Tomorrow, if somebody says, if we are in a party, somebody says, let's have a song, Gopal, I will be very proud to sing because I have already practiced this a number of times. If, for example, so you are practicing, dancing. So tomorrow somebody says, okay, we have a family function or there is something, let's have a dance, for the occasion. You will be eager to do it because you've learned it, you've done it. So there is a ROI, which is called as return on investment. So what happens is people think of music and dance or something like that, which they can perform, they can show their art to somebody else. But that cannot happen in Krav Maga. Do you understand? So the reason being, I will not get attacked every day that I will start having a selfie camera and I kick people, I record myself. But I can do that while I'm singing. I can do all that thing. So the one thing which actually genuinely which I have found people is, sir, I'm a very peaceful person. I don't go and fight with anybody. Why should I learn? But the problem is, you don't look for a problem. Sometimes the problem comes looking for you. Okay, so that's the reason you should learn. Now, another thing which I tell my students is, don't think of Krav Maga as self-defense. Think of it as fitness. Okay, because it takes, imagine if you are surrounded by a couple of people and you have to exit that place, you have to run. If you're not fit, will you be able to run? You cannot. right? So you need that basic thing of even getting away from a situation. You need to run. Imagine 10 people chasing you, you need to run. That is self-defense. Okay, I can kick, punch and all those things, that's okay, but you need fitness for that. So Krav Maga is based on HIIT. Okay, so HIIT is, high intensity interval training is what it is called as, and it is very good for your fitness. In fact, it burns fat faster than running, faster than any of your known form of exercise. In gym, people just lift weight and all. So I would suggest people to take up self defense as a bonus, but keep the rest of it as their fitness goal. So that is one. Second, rightly you said, there was in Corona time, I think the violence at home, increased. So that's another thing. So that's your bonus. You can defend yourself against these kind of assault. Outside, maybe it's outside. There's lockdown. Very few people are going out. At those times also. So you need self-defense, but my only suggestion to people who want to learn self-defense or Krav Maga for that matter is focus on your fitness. Imagine that this is your a tool to get yourself fit. Yes, bonus being you can kick somebody's ass. That is a bonus for you.
Okay, so sir, now that you have talked about fitness and how one can learn this art by realizing that this is one form of fitness, what's also the importance of nutrition in this case? I mean, when you learn the art of Krav Maga, has nutrition some role to play in it?
See, nutrition plays role in everything which we do. Okay, the moment we think about getting fit, we think about nutrition, but nutrition does not begin at that stage. Nutrition, see, there is something called as living, and there is something called as healthy living. Okay, living is just surviving. I eat anything, I go about doing anything. Till you are young, 25 probably maximum to around 25, 26, you eat anything, your body processes it, you don't feel it, but there is a dent you are doing to your body. Okay, but then later when you start growing older and older, nutrition, then you start thinking about nutrition, because that's harm has already been done. Now you're trying to undo the harm. Okay, so nutrition plays a role in every this thing, but there is no special nutrition for Krav Maga. There is no special this thing. It is like a regular if you start tomorrow, if you start a gym or you start running, what is the nutrition change? You will start eating healthy. Probably your mom says eat broccoli, you don't eat, right? So you start eating that broccoli. Okay, so you start eating salad, you try and reduce your carb, you try and eat food which is good for you, simple food which is good for you. So I would say that there's no special nutrition for this, but yes, you need to. So when you make an overall change of healthy living, you start thinking about it. But then there's another thing. I have seen a lot of people who join, who used to not think about healthy food and all those things, but once they join, Krav Maga induces that healthy living. So that also you can say. And another thing which I forgot to tell you is Krav Maga is a major tool in busting your stress, because Krav Maga teaches you to how to handle a stressful situation. In fact, in Krav Maga, there are two aspects of a confrontation or an attack. One is mental, another is physical. Okay, sometimes people just lose a battle by thinking they cannot do anything about it. Okay, so we work on a student on both on mental level, how to make them strong to a situation, and physically how they can become stronger. So it works on both the level.
Okay, so sir, as you're part of the organization, what approach do you take to, influence students to come and join this thing? And what are the challenges you face as a self-defense school?
Okay, so what we do for people to join us, see, I think we don't have to do much. The newspaper and the situation does most of our work. Okay, so there's a lot of crime which happens. People read about it, they come, they join. But the only thing which I find it sustainability. They have to sustain it. Okay, it's like learning how, again I'm getting you the topic. If you don't sing for a couple of years and all, your throat will go out of shape. Okay, you need to keep learning. You need to sustain yourself. It's not, there are a lot of people who say, sir, if I get a belt or that's this level or that level. See, I'll tell you one thing. Tomorrow, if you get attacked, the person who's attacking you will not ask at what level are you. What is your level of training in Krav Maga. It doesn't make any sense. You learn to defend yourself, and you keep learning so that you keep training your mind and your body to handle the situation. So the more you see, for example, they say the more you meditate, the peaceful you become, right? Meditation is a process. It's not an end that I start meditation today and after 1 month my goal is over. So it's not like that. So you have to keep learning. Only then it will lead you to some. So this is major challenge which I face. People come and they don't sustain themselves for a long period of time. And the second thing I already told you, right? They cannot showcase this. So there is no ROI. So that's why I tell them, take this as fitness. But now I think things have changed. There are a lot of women who come to my class. I've done a lot of corporate shows. So there are a lot of women who are actually, getting involved in this. But it needs to be a little bit more. This needs to become part of their routine. So this is the challenge I face usually.
So do you think, you can overcome this challenge by introducing the self-defense as a subject in school? Because, it's primary education where people actually start learning and, educate themselves on certain aspects. So do you think that primary education or high school education has a role to play in it when we come to, the art of self-defense or anything also?
I think it's already there. I think that awareness is already there. I think the government is making a lot of effort to make sure that self-defense becomes a part of this thing. And I think government has taken a lot of steps. If I remember very correctly, there is a Nirbhaya fund which is there. There is also government schools are given fund to teach self-defense for the student. But the issue is there is a difference between self-defense and martial art. So what happens is people need to be aware about this. See, if I tell you, okay, self-defense, what comes to your mind? Forget you knew about Krav Maga. If I tell you self-defense, what comes to your mind? Which art comes to your mind?
Actually, no art comes in my mind. If I personally say about it, then self-defense for me means, protecting myself in
fair enough. What art comes to your mind if I say self-defense?
Okay, then that must be martial arts for sure.
So correct, martial arts. So you'll come karate or something like that.
Yeah.
So that's a problem. So that's why. So what happens? See, I'm not saying that karate or martial art is not good. See, it's a way of life. Actually, karate, which came from Japan, apparently is a way of life. It's a complete living. Okay, but in our kind of an environment, urban environment, you cannot have Krav Maga as a way of living. You can use as a tool to come out of that situation. Okay. So, the other thing is in those kind of time when karate came, all those things, honor in a fight. People will not hit you below your belt. People will fight only during daytime. Nobody will fight in the night. So there was an honor in the whole thing. But now it's urban. It is urban jungle. So people ambush, people do all those things. So that one thing which everybody needs to understand the difference, what a self-defense is. So once we understand that, and then we will know what to seek and then go. But as far as government is concerned, I think they are doing tremendous job in terms of promoting. Everybody is aware about self-defense. I think it will take time. This is as good as educating people. People need to get educated. Then only it will go forward.
Okay, so on that note, can you practically demonstrate some some techniques or so? Because it will be helpful.
I can teach. I can teach you, but the issue becomes is it's a partner oriented. If you have a partner with you right now, I can probably tell you what you can do if somebody chokes you. Okay, so for example, say somebody chokes you like this. See, with both the this thing, they're choking you, right? So the first thing comes is lift your hand up. Okay, your hand up. If somebody is choking, your wrist gets stuck here. Okay, turn with your hip on the other side and push your elbow down. That's it. So you from here, you turn with your hip, you drop your elbow, the choke gets released. So it's as simple as it. See how Krav Maga works is if somebody is choking, for example, so the pressure which they choke is from their arms. Correct? With the arm they will choke. but I will use my body to defend against the arm. So for example, the force will be different. Okay, if you are choking me with the pressure of your hand, I will use my body to defend against your hand. Your hand might weigh 20 kilo, 30 kilo, 40 kilo as a force, but when I use my body, I'm 80 kilos or I'm 60 kilos. So which is stronger, 20 kilos or 80 kilos, or 20 kilos or 60 kilo? So the way we work in Krav Maga is never hand on hand. If you are pulling me and I pull you, it is between your hand and my hand. Okay, but if you are pulling me or pushing me and I put my full body into it, it is my full body against your hand. So that's how we go. So another thing which is Krav Maga, like you say, techniques. I don't think if we had a partner, I'm sure I would have done it for you. So simple logic. In Krav Maga, the rule is hit where it pains. So simple is your eye is a vulnerable point. So a person might be 6 feet 2 inches, 6 feet 5 inches, 150 kilos, but the eye is still vulnerable. Nose is vulnerable. Chin is vulnerable. Your throat is vulnerable. Okay, groin, knee, toe, and there is something called hummel. So these are all vulnerable points. So in Krav Maga, we don't hit hard, big muscles, your hand, your chest, your stomach, and all. We don't hit. We hit where it hurts. And it should hurt similar for everybody, whether the person is 5 feet 1 inches or 6 feet 5 inches. So that's how it works.
Okay, so sir, I mean, before ending this interview, I really want to know what are the various programs that you guys offer for the youth out there, or for anyone who wants to learn this art.
Okay, so we conduct regular weekend and weekday classes. Okay, people can come and join the weekend classes. I do a lot of corporate workshops. Okay, so I have done a workshop for large IT company, pharmaceutical companies. In fact, one of the pharmaceutical companies have done the workshop is actually in a big way helping your COVID. So that, and then I've done work for schools. So we do workshop for women in corporate. For men, we do. For children, we run classes for children. So not only as a weekend or weekday classes, but also in schools. And then there are special programs. Say, for example, there is a get together of some, say, a business group or something, which they come together for the annual meet or something. We come out and teach them. Then we teach personal security. In fact, currently there are 2 people who are training against us, those who provide close protection to a VIP. So that those guys are also training. So these are the various programs we teach. I do a lot of free work for NGO. In fact, any NGO which comes to me, and if they are doing a good job, I teach their members free of cost. So this is my way of saying thank you to the society. So that's also, these are the things which you do. So women, men, children, workshops, corporate, individuals, those kind of things we do. And schools, yes.
Okay, so if one wants to enroll for this, how can they do so?
They have to call me and they have to come for my class.
Okay,
it's as simple as that.
Okay, I mean, there's no website link or so where they can.
Yeah, we have. Yeah, it's instakravmaga.com. INSTA kravmaga.com. You will find me in Google. In fact, Krav Maga is one of the most attractive option for youth, and in fact for women it's most attractive option, because women don't get harassed by other women mostly.
Correct.
In this thing. So there is a natural imbalance when you fight somebody. See, I'll tell you what, most of the thing people say it is about women against men or men against women. I disagree to a bit. The reason being, as if you see in jungle, a tiger will definitely dominate somebody, who's little down. Have you ever seen a tiger threatening an elephant?
Never.
Difficult, no?
Yeah.
Correct. So size matters. Okay, so it's not about gender that men are against women or women are against men. No, it is about a position, about a vulnerability, about a situation where I can take advantage. I'm sure you will know, probably say there is a boss who's 4 feet 4 inches, but he is a GM, and I am 6 feet 6 inches, and I am just a executive. Who do you think will dominate?
Definitely the boss.
person in power. So that also happens outside. If I think I'm physically strong, I know you are riding a bike and then you crash with my car or something, or I crash my bike with this thing, and I see, okay, I can take her on, so I try and dominate. But the problem is, Krav Maga, and then I take chance with you, and you beat me black and blue. So that's how it works. So that's why these things are very important.
I
So they
guess
can visit my website. There is there. Google, my number is there. They can come and join.
Okay, so it was lovely having you. So it was lovely, getting to know more about this art. And I'm sure people who are looking forward to learning this art would definitely come and approach you. So thank you for sparing us your precious time. And I hope people get to learn more and, try to inculcate this art as a part of their daily behavior.
Sure. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Thank you so
thank you,
much.
sir. Thanks a lot.
Bye. 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 Thank you.